ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं one second. वन्दे YouTube was also there. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनीति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते नमो ब्राह्मणदेवाय गो ब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय ते नमः तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। देव श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna everyone. Today we start prayers of Lord Brahma. Okay. I think you all know the pastime of Brahma Vimohana Leela, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so this is after that. So after that Leela happens, then when Lord Brahma realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so then he offers the blessing. Here it is. So this was happened just before the when Krishna killed the demon. Which demon Krishna killed? Anyone knows?
Aghasura?
Yes, right. Mataji, you have read the Krishna book, is it?
It's in Bhagavatam, so I read the 10th canto, Mataji.
Oh, you have read this one?
All cantos. I'm reading third time, Mataji now. Third
Oh
time,
my
fifth
God,
canto.
Hari Bol.
I
So like
started
you're going through all the purport?
Yeah,
Also.
everything from page to page. I started in 2020, Mataji.
Great Mataji. Please give me also some tips like how are you covering every day?
I read every night, Mataji, before going to bed. It doesn't matter how many pages. Sometimes I read a lot. Sometimes I get to only 2-3 pages, but consistently every day I read, Mataji.
So you were able to cover 2 times fully?
Yeah, 2 times fully. Third time I just finished fourth canto. I'm reading fifth canto now.
Wow, great. Very good. Yeah, she's really an inspiration, right? To everyone.
Yes,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
Very good. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुदीनदायनं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So yes, Veena Mataji, you can explain the pastime, Agasura pastime.
So there's this snake. It was Kamsa had hired him to obviously kill Krishna like any other demon. So he Agasura planned to trick Krishna by becoming like a cave. He had his mouth wide open and in the form of a cave. So when Krishna and all the Gopa boys went on their routine on that day, the friends saw something looked like a new cave, so they wanted to go in. But Krishna did not go that time. They looked at Krishna and they still wanted to explore, so they all went in. And at that time, Agasura decided to close his mouth and eat all of them. And then Krishna goes in and fights with him and rips his mouth open and saves all the Gopa boys.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So Lord Brahma was observing all this which was happening in Braj, right? So he was astonished. How is this small boy, such a small boy, 6, 7 year old, right? Krishna was. So how was he able to kill such a demons? I mean, so many demons he was killing. And how was that possible? And he was literally seeing this Agasura incident. And then just after that, they were all very tired. So all the Gopa boys along with Sri Krishna, so they all come and they sit in a place on the banks of a river. They were having their cows, calves, and all. Everyone were sitting and they want to have their lunch because they would come for pasturing the cows, no, in the morning, and then evening only they go home. So they will bring their all their no lunch box. So they were all sharing and eating and making so much of fun. And even it is mentioned that even the devatas, the demigods, were astonished because Krishna is only eats, it is Yagna Purusha, it is said. So, what is offered in sacrifice? But here he is having a normal food which all the humans have, no? And then even Lord Brahma is also astonished. So he wanted to again test. He thought, let me test if he's really God. And then what does he do? So he takes all the cows and calves because what happens when they were eating? So they left them free. The cows and calves they went for no eating grass. So they went inside the forest. So they couldn't see. And these Gopa boys were bit worried. And then Krishna says, "You all have peacefully. Let me go and I will bring them. No, I will bring your cows and calves." So they were eating. So when Krishna goes, Brahma comes and takes away these Gopa boys and even he takes all the cows and calves. So Krishna comes, search everywhere, and then when he comes, he couldn't find out. So since he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he could make out that this is a plan of Lord Brahma only, right? So then what does he do? So he expands himself, right? He expands himself to, it is mentioned that to means exactly to however they are with the same height, no, color, form, everything, characteristics, everything. So ditto. So same duplicate. Krishna expands and he becomes the cows and calves and everything whatever they were using also, right? Their paraphernalia, everything is the same to same. Like every child will, if he has certain kind of lunch box, so that same thing that boy will take, so that nobody will get doubt, right? So it is said when Krishna went home, so usually gopis loved Krishna more than their children, but here they didn't feel the discrimination, it seems, because Krishna was there present in everyone's house now, right? Because Krishna had expanded himself to innumerable number and exact number he expanded. So nobody felt there was any difference between the other children or their children. So everybody loved because everything it was expansion of Krishna, Vishnu Murti only, no? So they were all so happy, and actually, acharyas say that the gopis had internal desire that they wanted to serve Krishna as his mother, like when they used to see Mother Yashoda, I used to feel. So, how if I should also feed him, I should also take care of Krishna like that, right? So, Krishna wanted to fulfill, as Krishna want to fulfill everyone's wishes, and he, especially of devotees, he thought to give them a chance so that he became their child. And it was not very short time. It is like said almost like a year. And even Lord Balram could not identify. He never knew that these are all normal. I mean, these are all not normal calves and cows, but it is Krishna. And once he gets it out, there was only some 6 days away for completing 1 year. And Lord Balram start to contemplate, like, why is it that everyone in Braj are so much attracted to these cows and calves, and like how we get attached, how we have so much affection for Krishna, similar affection we are feeling for this cows and calves and everything. How is it possible? So when he was contemplating, and he was able to see that he realized that it is Krishna. And Krishna, and he asked him, so what was it? No, I think it is you only, right? Because all are getting attracted to, how is this possible? No. So then Krishna explains all the incidents to him, that this is what happened. And then Lord Brahma had taken them, right? And in a moment he comes. Actually, give me a second. I have a bad throat today. Okay, so Lord Brahma comes, and so in a like for him it was a moment. So we know, like, Brahma's calculation is different than how we have here in earthly years, right? So it has 1 year passed, and for him it was a moment. And when he comes, he was astonished because he had made, by his mystic power, he had made everyone to sleep. So they had not even got up yet. So he was thinking, when he comes, and he was already seeing the all similar, right, cows and calves, and the boys, covered boys. So all were playing exactly the same way, and he was astonished. So what is this happening? So it is said Brahma thought so many times. He did so much of, speculation, like what would have happened. Is Krishna, when I am coming here, he is bringing them again, and then again when I go, I mean, he is playing like that, hide and seek. He was thinking like that, or how is it possible exactly replicate? No, he was not able to make out. So after he contemplated, so nothing he was able to make out. And then Krishna decided to reveal, right? So then when Lord reveals, he was able to see the four-handed form of the Lord, no, the Vishnu form in every creation. So he was only able to see the blue hand, though it is mentioned bluish, no, bluish rain cloth. That is the color of the Lord, right? So, and he was who was dressed in a yellow silk garments. That is Krishna. So he was able to see that form in every creature, and then he surrenders onto him, and he uh, apologizes, so and then he starts as the prayer. So we'll start with the first one. Actually, it is mentioned from three, but I see that it starts from the first only. So let's go from the first. Om Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Verse 1. Shri Brahmovacha Naumidhyate Abra Vapushe Tadid Ambaraya Gunjavatamsa Paripichala Vanyasraje Kavala Vetra Vishana Venu Lakshma Shriye Mrudupade Pashupang Gajaya Shri Brahmovacha
Shri Brahmovacha
Naumidhyate Abravapushe Ambaraya
Naumidhyate Abravapushe Tadidambaraya
Gunjavatamsa Paripichala
Javatamsa Paripichala Sanmukaya
Vanyasraje Kavalavetra Vishana Venu
Vanyasraje Ke Kavalavetra Vishana Venu
Lakshma Shriye Mrudupade Pangajaya
Lakshma Shriye Mrudupade Pashupangajaya.
Translation. Okay, who wants to read? Okay,
Can I read, Mataji? Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud, your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute, you stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the previous chapter, Brahma, the creator of the universe, tried to bewilder the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, by stealing his cowherd boyfriends and calves. By a slight exhibition of Krishna's own mystic potency, Brahma himself was completely bewildered, and now with great humility and devotion he offers his humble obeisances and prayers unto the Lord. The word kavala in this verse refers to a morsel of rice mixed with yogurt that Krishna held in his left hand. According to Sanatan Goswami, the Lord held a cowherding stick and a buffalo horn pressed under his left arm, and his flute was placed under his belt. Beautiful young Krishna, decorated with multicolored forest minerals, exhibited opulences far greater than those of Vaikuntha. Although Brahma had seen innumerable four-armed forms of the Lord, he now surrendered onto the lotus feet of the two-armed form of Krishna, who appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaja. Brahma offered his prayers to that form. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, translation. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, you are the only worshipper Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute, you stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand. So, this explains about the beautiful form of Lord Krishna, right? So Lord Krishna is said Akarshiti iti Krishna, means the most attractive. Krishna was so attractive. So there are so many pastimes, right? So in Braja, so there used to be a vegetable seller who used to sell not vegetable, sorry, fruit seller, mango, fruit seller. She used to call the mangoes by the names of the Lord. No? Krishna, Madhava, Keshava, like that she used to call. And because so much people were attracted by beauty of the Lord. And we know that once when she come to sell Krishna actually, that time, those time, it was like a barter system, no? You give something and I give. There was no this money involved. So people used to like, I give you rice, you give me fruits or vegetables, like that. So they grow, everybody grow, and they to exchange. So she gave fruits, and Krishna went in to bring the grain, no, rice. So while getting, almost it fell off in his small hands. Very two, three, it came, and she took, and those all were turned to be like a precious gems, and later, right? So uh, because she didn't have any no, expectation of anything from him, because they all loved Krishna uh, uh, selflessly, right? So here it is Krishna's body is compared to the cloud, no? The cloud color is blue, right? Even in the Brahma Samhita also, where Brahma's prayers are there also we see where he compares the Lord's body to the cloud color. And and yeah, so yeah, wearing garlands of various forest flowers. So we know, like, Krishna used to, Mother Yashoda used to dress him with all the, beautifully, with all the jewelry and forest flowers. No, there used to be some 5 kind of flowers, which, no, Vaijayanti Mala it used to be called, right, which Krishna used to wear. And um, and this is how his uh, beautiful feature is explained, because we can understand the devotees know that Krishna, the, absolute truth, the is in the has a form, right? And here we see that there was another incident where Lord Brahma was bewildered, means, to once there was an incident, right? So when Lord Brahma goes to meet Krishna, anyone knows that? And he
Yes,
says to,
Mataji.
yeah,
His when Lord Brahma goes to meet Krishna, Krishna says, "Which Brahma is
yes,
he?" And Brahma gets confused that how many more Brahmas are there. He thought he was the only one, and then
yeah,
Krishna invites all the other Brahmas from all the universes, and some had, he only has 4 heads, but some had so many hundreds of heads. So then he realized that he was not the only one.
yes. So yeah, so here also, like, he thought him to be a ordinary boy, or he thought he was more mystical, so he wanted to test the Lord. But then when he realized that he was nothing, right? So Brahma was nothing in front of Krishna. So, like, analogy Suta Goswami gives to Parikshit Maharaj was just like a glowworm, which in the night, it glowworm looks very bright in the night, but then when sun comes, it has no value, right? That it is insignificant. So such is the potency of the Lord. So he was completely bewildered. And when he then Krishna, out of mercy, he then shows his beautiful form. No, initially Lord Brahma was observing. He was only seeing the, like, all entities were expansion of Krishna, and he saw them like the 24 elements, and he was seeing him as the time factor and all that. And then Krishna gave him the uh, darshan, right, of this form. So it is said that to see Krishna in this form is very rare, right? In Bhagavad, because Krishna comes only once in a day of Lord Brahma, right? So, so they were all the devatas also, they were paying obeisances by seeing that form of the Lord. The next one. अस्यापि देववपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नेषे महित्व अवसितुं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् तवैव किम् उतात्म सुखानुभूतेः अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य
अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनगृहस्य
स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि
स्वेच्छामयस्य
न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि
नेषे त्व अवसितुं मनसान्तरेण
नेषे महित्व अवसितुं मनसान्तरेण
साक्षात् तवैव किम् उतात्म सुखानुभूतेः
साक्षात् तवैव किम् उतात्मसुखानुभूतेः
May I read Mataji? Translation?
Yeah, Muralidhar Prabhu. Yes, Muralidhar Prabhu. Can read. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Yeah.
Myself, Minal
Muralidhar Prabhu.
Mataji.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yes.
Okay. Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chapter 14, Srila Prabhupada explains that in the present verse, Lord Brahma expressed the following prayerful sentiment. Your appearance as a cowherd child is for the benefit of the devotees. And although I have committed offenses at your lotus feet by stealing away your cows, boys, and calves, I can understand that you are now showing me your mercy. This is your transcendental quality. You are very affectionate towards your devotees. Yet, in spite of your affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of this universe, cannot estimate the childlike body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? And if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body, then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance and disappearance of the Lord immediately becomes eligible to enter the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. This statement is confirmed in the Vedas, and it is stated simply, by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge. When Brahma disrespected the supreme status of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna first bewildered him by exhibiting the Lord's own transcendental power. Then, having humbled his devotee Brahma, Krishna gave him his personal audience. According to Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, Lord Krishna's transcendental body can also function through the agency of his plenary expansions called Vishnu Tattva. As stated in Brahma himself in the Brahma Samhita 5.32, Angani Yashya Saklendriya Vrittimanti. This verse indicates not only that the Lord can perform any bodily function with any of his limbs, but Also, he can see through the eyes of his Vishnu expansions, or indeed through the eyes of any living entity. And similarly, that he can hear through the ears of any Vishnu or Jiva expansion. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura points out that although the Lord can perform any function with any one of his senses in his transcendental pastimes, as Sri Krishna, he generally sees with his eyes, touches with his hands, hears with his ears, and so on. Thus he behaves like the most beautiful and charming young cowherd boy. The Vedic knowledge expands from Lord Brahma, who is described in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam as Adi Kavi, the primeval Vedic scholar. Yet Brahma could not understand the transcendental body of Lord Krishna because it is beyond the reach of ordinary Vedic knowledge. Among all the transcendental forms of the Lord, the two-armed form of Govinda, Krishna, is original and supreme. Thus, Lord Govinda's pastimes of stealing butter, drinking the gopis' breast milk, tending the calves, playing his flute, and playing childhood sports are extraordinary even in comparison with the activities of the Lord's Vishnu expansions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me, and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within himself? So actually, Krishna himself cannot understand, right, his own potency. So it is said it keeps on expanding in the spiritual world, like the rasa, right? The between like Krishna and gopis. So it's always expanding the love and the happiness that they derive from each other, and with from the with Radharani, Krishna and Radharani. So it is always ever expanding. No, by seeing just by Krishna, they feel happy, and by seeing them happy, Krishna becomes happier. So we know this was one of the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes as as a devotee form. So one of the internal reason to understand his own sweetness. So that is what here Lord Brahma is saying, that how can I know? No, very difficult for anybody to understand completely the personal form, and how could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? No? Krishna is called as what? Atma Rama, right? Atma Rama means always satisfied and happy in himself. Only Krishna is like that. No? Even because Brahma also gets bewildered. We saw, right? Many times all the devatas, they get bewildered, and Lord Brahma is the topmost of all. No? From him, he is the one secondary creator next to Krishna. But then even he cannot know the God. So here Lord Brahma is glorifying that only by mercy of the Lord one can understand Krishna. Otherwise, it's impossible, right? So, yeah. And one more thing, Prabhupada like quotes, like how when Krishna comes in his transcendental form as Krishna, he uses just like human, how we use, right? Hands are used. I mean, whatever purpose we know, with hands we eat, with ears we hear, with eyes we see. So similarly, Krishna was doing the same pastime, but otherwise, as per Brahma Samhita, Krishna can use any his organs for different purpose, right? But so everything has the same potency. So last class, I think we discussed on this, like how like how Lord Vishnu creates from his the innumerable of universes from the pores of his hairs. So, and without Mother Lakshmi, Krishna can create even Lord Brahma, who was like so many creations which are born uh, which does not not using the organs which like humanly is which is used, which is humanly impossible. So those are the acts of Lord. So actually we have many like that examples in Krishna's pastimes, which is humanly impossible, but then Krishna behaved like a normal cowherd boy, and especially with the Brajvasis, he was just a son of Yashoda and no, Nanda Maharaj. They all saw him like that, naughty child of them. So nobody knew that it was Krishna. So they were all enjoying the transcendental pleasure in Krishna's presence. Okay, and go to the next one. Jnana. So verse 3, 10.14.3. ज्ञाने प्रयास उदपास्य नमन्त एव जीवन्ति सन्मुखारितां भवदीयवर्तां स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवान् मनोभिर्ये प्रायशो अजितजितो अपि असि तैस्त्रिलोक्यां ज्ञाने प्रयासमुप उदपास्य नमन्त एव
ज्ञाने प्रयासमुदपास्य नमन्त एव
जीवन्ति मुखरतां भवदीयवर्तां
जीवन्ति
सन्मुखरतां
सन्मोर्यान् भवदीयवार्ताम्
स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवाङ्
स्थाने
स्थाने
स्थिता
स्थिताः श्रुतिगतां तनुवां मनोभिर्
ये प्रायशो जितजितोऽप्यसि त्रैस्त्रिलोक्याम्
ये प्रायशो अजित जितोऽप्यसि तैस्त्रिलोक्याम्
Brunal Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation. Those who even while remaining situated in their established social positions throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their body, words and mind offer all respect to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly confer your leadership, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. Purport. Purport by Divine Grace Bhakti. Here the word Udapasya clearly indicates that one should not even slightly endeavor to understand the absolute truth about the process of mental speculation, for it invariably carries one to an imperfect, impersonal understanding of God. The word Jivanti indicates that a devotee who always hears about Lord Krishna will go back home, back to Godhead, even if he can do nothing except maintain his existence and hear topics concerning the Lord. Srila Sanatan Goswami has explained the word Tanu Monabhi by the body, words, and mind in three ways. In reference to devotees, through their body, word, and mind, they are able to conquer Lord Krishna, thus becoming perfect in Krishna consciousness. They can touch his lotus feet with their hands, call him to come with their words, and attain his direct audience within their mind simply by thinking about him. In the case of non-devotees, the word Tanuban Manovi refers to the word Ajita, unconquered, and indicates that those not engaged in the loving service of Lord Krishna cannot conquer the absolute truth by their bodily strength, verbal expertise, or mental power. Despite all their endeavors, the ultimate truth remains beyond their reach. In reference to the word Jita, conquered, the word Tanuban Manubi indicates that the pure devotee of Lord Krishna, pure devotee, sorry, it's the, that the pure devotees of Lord Krishna conquer his body, words, and mind. Lord Krishna's body is conquered because he always remains by the side of his pure devotees. Lord Krishna's words are conquered because he always shunned the glories of his devotees, and Lord Krishna's mind is conquered because he always thinks about his loving devotees. Sri Vishwanatha Chakraborty Thakur has explained the word Tanuban Manubi in regard to the word Namanta, offering obeisance. He explained that the devotees can take full advantage of the transcendental topic of the Lord by offering all respect to those topics with their body, word, and mind. One should engage his body by touching the ground. Sorry, Mataji, please skip down. Yeah. His ground with the one should engage his body by touching the ground with his hand and head while offering obeisance to the topics of the Lord. One should engage his words by praising transcendental literatures such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as the devotees who are preaching such literatures. And one should engage his mind by feeling great reverence and pleasure while hearing the transcendental topic of Lord. In this way, a sincere devotee who has acquired even a small amount of transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna can conquer him and thus go back home, back to Godhead for eternal life at the Lord's side. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Translation. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their body, words, and mind offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. So it is said that Krishna, he gets, he grants any material wishes very soon, but not the like devotional service is not very easily he gives to anyone, because when somebody does devotional service with purity of body, mind, and words, right? So then Krishna gets conquered. No, so he does not allow, like we know in case of Sudama, when Sudama comes to meet Krishna, so he Krishna grabbed that the flattened rice, little, only very little he had, but he grabbed, and he had just 1 or 2 times, and then third time when he was going to have, so it is said Rukmini Devi stops him, like already so much he had. For that, I mean, we can't measure so much of mercy he has already given to him, right? So she stops, as though like he can store for other devotees, like that. So it's just a example which shows that how Krishna gets conquered. So okay, give some examples where when devotees were in problem and Krishna was there. So because we read in the purport that in the mind of whoever thinks of Krishna, and Krishna is also in their remembrance, right? So like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha e bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyaham, right? I have no friend, I have no enemy, but then whoever is thinking of me, I am their friend and they live in me, right? Krishna says there. So similarly, when the pure devotees actually, they don't have any other thing other than to think about the Lord. No? So here, so we give some examples where the devotees were in problem, or when they called out for Krishna and Krishna was there immediately.
Hare Krishna
Okay.
Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Draupadi Mataji,
Yes,
when she remembered Lord Krishna, he immediately came to her
yes,
rescue.
correct. To rescue, right? So she was when she was in problem, and she was being, humiliated by the Kaurava side, and Krishna, when she called out Krishna, she lifted both her hands, right? So, which shows the complete surrender. We see our, Gauranitai also, like 2 hands up. So basically, why we, do like that, lift our hand means completely, I am yours, like that. That surrender, that bhava of surrender actually it denotes. So she cried for Krishna, and immediately Krishna was there to help her. No, she had 5 husbands. Nobody was able to help her. No, everybody were there. Bhishma Pitamaha was there, and all great people in the assembly was there, but no one could able to help her. But the Lord helped, right? So Krishna later tells him that I am always there. Even if you had not called, I would have come, right? So yes, any other occasions where Krishna?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Hare
For
Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaja, every time always he used to be there
Yes.
with him.
Yes.
Each and every
Yeah,
problem.
every time father was
Danger.
trying
It
to
is a
kill.
danger. In
So
every
every
danger.
time he was in a, actually in materially when we see, it was a fearful situation, right? We can't even imagine what kind of situation Prahlad Maharaj was going through every
Yes,
day.
sir.
Yeah. Yes, very nice. So yeah, so Krishna was always there when whenever the devotee is in danger, he is there. Yes, any other example you can remember from Bhagavatam?
Gajendra Mataji.
Yes, Gajendra. Very good. So Gajendra was offering just prayers with a rose, lotus. है ना? So he was having he just because from the previous life he was King Indradyumna, right? So he remembered, because we know Bhagavad Gita says, Matta Smriti Gnanam Apohanam cha. So Krishna is giving the remembrance. So in the right time, right? Just like for even Ajamila, he gave the right intelligence to give his son name as Narayana, or to call his name at the time of death. So Krishna gives. So that is why whatever we do, little bit also in devotional service, it doesn't go waste. है ना? Salpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So like that, even Gajendra, when he called from his, with the prayers which he could offer, in that pain, he remembered those prayers and he offered to Lord Vishnu, and immediately it is said, he was appeared. And in Vishnu Sahasranama, one word is there, Vegavan. Vegavan means is so fast. Vega means we know that is so fast. So Krishna can travel than the speed of mind. So fast Krishna can travel. So in a second he was from Vaikunta and he was here in front of. So it was like 1 year it is mentioned, but yeah. So Krishna immediately he was there to rescue. So like that, many examples are there where the Lord, because this is only for devotees, not for everyone, especially pure devotees who are always thinking or who has done so much of austerity or thing in the previous life. Maybe in this life Krishna will give such a kind of mercy upon them. So but yes, Prabhupada says that anybody could get the same kind of mercy, and Krishna can keep the hands on anyone's head, just like how we did for Prahlad Maharaj, if we have that kind of surrender, right? So that is there for everyone, and it is on to us, like how much are we ready to surrender unto the Lord. Okay, go to the next one. We have 10 more minutes. I think one more we can. 10.14.4. Shreyashrutim. Okay. Shreyashrutim bhakti mudasyate vibho क्लिश्यन्ति ये केवलबोधलभ्यते तेषामसौ क्लेशल एव शिष्यते नान्याद्यथा स्थूल तुषावगातिनाम् श्रेयश्रुतिं भक्तिम् उदस्यते विभो
श्रेयश्रुतिं भक्तिमुदस्यते विभो
क्लिश्यन्ति ये केवलबोधलभ्यते
क्लिश्यन्ति ये केवलबोधलभ्यते
तेषामसौ क्लेशल एव शिष्यते
तामसौ क्लेशल एव शिष्यते
नान्यद्यथा स्थूल तुषावगातिनाम्
नान्यद्यथा स्थूलतुषावघातिनाम्।
Who wants to read?
May I, Mataji?
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. Purport. Loving service to the Supreme Person is the natural and eternal function of every living entity. If a person renounces his own constitutional function and instead laboriously seeks so-called enlightenment through impersonal speculative knowledge, his result is simply the trouble and bother that come from following an artificial process. A fool may beat an empty husk, not knowing that the grain has already been removed. Similarly, foolish is the person who throws his mind again and again into the pursuit of knowledge without surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is the very substance and goal of knowledge, just as grain is the substance and goal of the entire agricultural effort. Vedic knowledge or Indeed, material science without the personality of Godhead is exactly like an empty and useless husk of wheat. One may argue that the practicing yoga or cultivating impersonal knowledge, one can acquire prestige, wealth, mystic powers, or even impersonal liberation. But these so-called gains are actually useless because they do not situate the living being in his constitutional position of loving service to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, such results, being superfluous to the living being's essential nature, are impermanent. As stated in the Narasimha Purana, Patresu Pushpesu Phalesu Tvayesu Akrita Labhyesu Vadaiva Satsu Vaktyasu Labhya Puruse Purane Muktai Kim Artham Kriyate Prayatna. Since the primeval personality of Godhead is easily attained by offering him such things as leaves, flowers, fruits, and water, which are all found without difficulty, why does one need to endeavor for liberation separately? Although the process of devotional service to Lord Krishna is very simple, it is extremely difficult for stubborn, conditioned souls to completely humble themselves before the Supreme Personality of Godhead and observe themselves 24 hours a day in his loving service. The mood of loving service is antima to belligerent conditioned souls determined to defy God and enjoy. When such stubborn conditioned souls attempt to bypass surrendering to God through proud attempts at philosophical speculation, austerity, and yoga, they are turned back to the material platform by the powerful laws of God and violently merged into the heaving ocean of insignificance called the material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Such stubborn conditions to attempt to bypass surrender. Okay, so here Prabhupada is mentioning about these Mayavadis, right? So they don't do devotional service, but they do this mental speculation and different austerities, and somehow they merge into Lord, but then such people again come back to this material world, right? So, yeah, translation. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization, his only gain is trouble. So the easiest way of knowing Lord is by devotional service. But whatever other, there are many paths, like we say in Bhagavad Gita also, right? Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. But then everything it was made for a different yuga, right? For Kali Yuga, it is Bhakti Yoga. It is which is easily it is easy for people to attain the same benefits in Kali Yuga just by remembering the Lord's name, the chanting the holy name of the Lord. So that is said to be more powerful in Kali Yuga, no? So Kali dosha, what is that one verse is there, no? There are so many doshas in this Kali Yuga, but the best thing about this Kali Yuga is Shukadev Goswami, says to Parikshit Maharaj that when doing Kirtana of Hari, that is said to be the highest. One can get all the benefits what he used to get in the earlier yugas. So once when even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prakashananda Saraswati, right? He was a Mayavadic scholar who was he was thinking like why his it was sentimental chanting of holy name devotional service, but then later he realized, and then he also becomes his devotee, right? So and where even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was said that why are you chanting like a sentimental fool? No, so no, not like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself calls himself as a like my guru told me that you are number one fool. You can't understand Vedic knowledge. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the mood of a devotee. So that's how a devotee should think. It's not that he is like that because he was a scholar when he was a small child itself. But he said that so I want just with the chanting of holy name, one can become perfect, right? So even Bhagavad Gita, many places where Krishna says that I am only known by bhakti, bhaktya mamabi janati, right? Not through any means, not jnana or karma. He never says that jnana is highest. So we see that even the 6 chapters of Bhakti Yoga is very nicely protected in between. It's a between the karma and jnana, the middle 6 chapters. So it's only for devotees it is revealed, it is said. So this shows that the supremacy of bhakti over other no, what like other jnana, or and also of like how the mental speculation or the impersonal worshipping impersonal feature, and also the just studying of Vedas by one's own speculative knowledge, that is very troublesome process. So anyone remembers one example where Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada gave for this speculative knowledge? He gives the example of husband going to his wife's house, right? He's going to his in a village. I mean, he has to find instead of calling, asking them, what does he do? Do you know? Anyone knows that story? Nobody knows, or see, once actually there was a bridegroom, like newlywed, and his wife had gone to her mother's place, and now he had to go there. What should he do? He had to actually ask his wife, right? So that was the easier method. But what does he do? He thinks that let me find out, and somebody was the buffalo. He catch hold of buffalo, and which was going on that route, and he goes, and like he was literally in the dust, and he was hitting here there, like he was thinking like he will be taken care. Somebody told this is going that way, so he instead of, so it is like indirect route, right? And so when he reaches there, he was fully like looking like some thief or something. So they all again bet them, and finally they found out that it was him. So similarly it is like that. He compares that to the jnanis, or who does the mental speculation. So instead of eating, I mean, we give directly, but then we are bringing our hand behind our head and then eating. It's like indirect method. So why should we do so much of troublesome process, and then there is no desired result? And here Prabhupada gives a analogy here, like beating an empty husk. Already that grain is taken out, right? That husk is there. What can we get? Even if we bet, nothing will come. So there's no use of such thing. Only by devotional service one is able to realize the Lord. Okay. Okay. Anybody wants to add anything, or anything is there regarding this? Or you can okay, any example you can remember where supremacy of bhakti over jnana, like that, from any Bhagavatam or anywhere, if you are able to remember any pastime where somebody is like Krishna was I mean, God realization was possible through bhakti and not from jnana or karma. Somebody was not able to please. So we can even take the example of Amrish Maharaj, right? So he was like who was actually trying to kill Amrish Maharaj.
Durvasa Muni.
Yeah. So Durvasa Muni, he was actually able to go to Vaikunta also, right? I mean, he was able to travel to all, I mean, not inside Vaikunta world, but then he was able to go there till, right? So, he was, Amrish Maharaj was only he was in this earth, on the earth, and he was just a king. But because of his devotion, right? So he had so much of power, and power in the sense Krishna protected him from all kind of he made a demon to kill him, right? But then I'm not going into the pastime because you all know, I assume that you all know this pastime. So Krishna was there for the devotee, though the Jnani means he would have done so much of tapas and austerity and all that, and he got so much of mystic powers. But then Krishna didn't see that. So he was just with pure devotion. Actually, it was Ekadashi, right? He was taking that day. And Krishna was saved him. The Sudarshana Chakra, Krishna's came to kill Durvasa Muni, right? And we know like how Amrish Maharaj was so humble that he forgave him. So, one more story. With that I'll stop. So there was a I may have told you also. So once Narad Muni was passing by, and he meets a cobbler, and he sees a Brahmana. Brahmana was doing all the Vedic ritual perfectly, and right, he sees him, and then they both no, sorry. So first Krishna actually goes to once Narad Muni goes to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, and he says that um, I'm just confused. No. First, I think, okay, sorry. I think he comes, he comes to, he comes to the Brahmana first, and Brahmana wanted to know when he would go back to Godhead. And then he goes to the cobbler also. Even the cobbler wanted to know when he wants to go. And then when when he goes back to the Lord Vishnu says that he asks, okay, so your devotees are there, both are your devotees, they wanted to know. But he does a very like so much of austerity and Brahmana, but this person has very limited time, but whatever time he has, he does with devotion, right? With the Lord, to the Lord. And then Krishna says that the Brahmana will, no, the cobbler will come first in this life. Brahmana will still take more years, right? Then he was, Narad Muni was shocked. And then he said, how? Why? He says, just go, I tell you something, and you have to go and tell them that. So, and tell the reaction, what do they do, right? So, he says that, tell him that what if they ask what I'm doing, to tell them I'm putting an elephant inside a needle, right? He goes and first tells to Brahmana, and Brahmana starts laughing. So Brahmana says, how is that possible that inside a needle an elephant is put? It's impossible, right? So and then he goes from there. And then he goes to the cobbler and he says the same thing. So he was not surprised. So he said, the Lord can do anything, right? Krishna can do anything. Actually, he was sitting under a banyan tree, and there is seed fallen out there. So he told that from this small seed, a plant is grown, such a huge plant, right? So much potency is there in the seed. And what to talk of the Supreme Lord, right? So he can do anything. So then Narad Muni understood why this cobbler will go in this life and not this Brahmana, because only Krishna can be understood by pure devotion, not by the studying of Vedas or doing austerities like that. So similarly here it is said that this mental speculation, one cannot understand the God, but only by devotional service, which is said to be the highest. Okay, I stop here. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpadurubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Ananta koti vaishnava ki jai. Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We can chant Hare Krishna 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.